Hi, I'm Brandon Caron. Just doing a video about apartment gym reviews. Because of what's happening with Corona, uh, once it did happen, I panicked and went out and bought equipment like right away, basically, because the gym is such a big part of my life. It's important just for my body, my mind, but also my job. So it's really important to me to get something together. Anyway, when I was doing those searches, seeing what other people had, I did find things in relation to like uh, backyards, garages, people who had a lot of space, basically, and not much in regards to apartments. Either way, I kept accumulating some stuff I got for free, some stuff I got secondhand, whatever, and I just want to show you a little bit about what I got and kind of my thought process behind getting some of those items. Okay, so this is the squat rack, kind of the centerpiece of the gym for most people who are looking at developing strength conditioning in general. This one actually is a rack I got for free. So I ended up knowing a girl who bought this squat rack years ago at a much better price point than what we currently have in the coronavirus market. So I got this with the bench and barbell, which we'll talk about, the quality of those items as we go forward. But I got them basically all in a trade, the whole thing in a trade. As far as I'm concerned, it was to my favor, so I'm pretty pleased with it. Like I said, we'll talk about the specs, but for the most part, this rack's doing everything I need it to do, given the space I've got. Okay, so let's talk about the rack itself. So the rack itself, like I said, I got it for free. So for me, this is a really great value rack. From what I was able to find about it, like the person I got it from, they didn't have like an extensive knowledge of it, where it came from, how much it cost, or anything like that. Where I did find it, it looked like it's going to be a little under $300 Canadian. So again, really great price for someone who's just starting a home gym, or maybe you're in a pinch, whatever it happens to be. This thing will serve you well in the short term, especially for the price. When comes time to upgrade, it's not going to hurt that bad knowing like, okay, I may have lost a couple $100 there. If that's something you're looking into doing, is an upgrade further on down the line. So it takes about 700 pounds. That's its capacity, about 700 pounds. It came with quite a few of these pins, actually. It came with two up front, two safety squat bars as well, lower down. They've been working fine for me, and two more in the back as well, where sometimes I store the bar, or I don't know, if I'm looking to squat in the cage, I usually just leave those ones there and use that as well. The way that we've set it up is we've actually been hanging the bar back there and hanging the bench on the bar, which has been great. Like once we figured that out, the bench wasn't sticking out multiple feet. Like we don't have a big apartment, so being able to just hang this up on the back was actually kind of a lucky coincidence, because when we went to install, or just put this together in general, the wheels were supposed to be facing the opposite way. They're actually supposed to be facing away from me. We couldn't get it to go on, so we turned it around and it went on fine. And now, fortunately, those wheels hold onto the bar when I go to hang it. So it's actually been sort of a blessing in disguise. The bench itself, it's nothing special. It's got multiple different settings. So you can do like your incline, you can do a little bit of a decline. It's just a simple pin mechanism. It's nothing fancy. It's relatively stable for the average consumer, someone who's not going to be benching, ridiculous amounts of weight. This will probably do the trick in the short term. It doesn't really have the opportunity for a lot of attachments, unfortunately. So it kind of just is what it is off the bat. Getting that out of the way, take a look at the barbell. The barbell, I should mention the bench is actually about like $130. So that is a surprisingly expensive bench considering the rack it comes with, right? It's almost half the price of the actual rack, which is kind of strange. The barbell itself, from what I was able to find in my research, is that it's going to be anywhere from about $90 to $150. So it's a bit of a variance online as to the prices you can get this barbell at. It's not a fantastic barbell, but it's doing the job. Okay, so the knurling on it is really quite passive. If you can get a look at it, it's not very aggressive at all. You're not going to find yourself tearing on this, especially if you're just going to be using it for deadlifts and squats. I have been using it a bit for some cleans, a little bit of snatch, and even then, like, I don't even find it necessary to tape up very often. If you can get a look, here, we'll take these clips off. Comes with the clips, by the way, it's kind of nice. So when you take the clips off, you go to spin the bar, it doesn't have a lot of spin. This bar, it has, I think, bronze bushings. It's not meant for Olympic lifting. Now, with a lot of bars, with time, that spin might increase. This bar, like, doesn't have a lot of play, which is actually okay. And that spin might increase with time, which would be great. I don't think that this bar got a lot of use before I ever got my hands on it, so who knows, that might improve. But again, it's like a $130 bar. I didn't expect much out of it in the beginning, but as far as getting like your deadlifts and squats in, it's actually not bad. It is a 29 millimeter, so it's a little bit thick for, again, your Olympic lifts, but it's almost the perfect diameter for, again, squats and deadlifts. Another way we've been trying to save on space in terms of the apartment is, like, we use this bar rack to hang a lot of stuff. Obviously, hang our bands, we've got our purples, our reds, a couple of smaller ones, more purples and greens. But we hang a lot on this. We hang our weight pull-up and dip belt. We hang some of our weightlifting belts. We have more, but we hang that one here for now. We've been hanging our rings here as well. And you know what? Actually, this thing does a pretty great job of being stable while you're doing ring dips or while you're doing maybe low ring transitions. Even for someone my height, I'm only 6 foot-ish, but it's been good for me. I haven't found that like it's terribly restrictive, but it still fits in the apartment, so that's great. Pull-up bar, multi-grip, so it's got a little bit of play. You can do a few different things with it. You can do your wide grip, narrow grip. You can do neutral grip if you wanted to. You're obviously not going to be getting away with doing much kipping on something like this, based on even just the height. There are things maybe we could do to make that work, but the rack isn't terribly stable, right? So this thing's not going to stand up to a lot of kipping. Like chest bars, we've been able to get away with a few toe bars on it, but for the most part, things have been pretty strict. Oh, we got a vest. We hang our vest here as well. So that's a great tool for anything you want to do in an apartment, or maybe you're going outside for runs and things like that. It's a lot of versatility when you're trying to add something to a body weight workout for pretty minimal investment. I'm pretty sure this is a Condor vest that I got locally for about $60, and the plates I got for free, secondhand market, so worked out pretty well for me. We do have quite a decent amount of weight. Most of our weight is bumper plates. These are a company that I honestly had never even really heard of, but I had used these plates before at a couple of different gyms, and they're fine. They're just weight, right? It's just a plate. I just needed to have weight. This gives me weight. It works as well as my needs are for a home gym or really whatever gym. I got a few other bumper plates here, 45, 10, 25, 35, so 2 sets of each. That's pretty happy for me. And then I have a few of like these rubber coated steel plates, or maybe iron, I'm not actually sure. But either way, they take up significantly less space on the bar, and they add a pretty significant amount of weight. So as far as weight goes, we're pretty good here. You don't need like really fancy plates in order to just put weight on the bar, and that's sort of what I went out searching for when I wanted to start building this place. I was in a hurry. Obviously, I was on a budget. I went out and just found fairly cheap, but also decent condition, straight up weight. These will, if I wanted to keep these until I move into a new place and get another home gym, I could, and they'll probably do the job. Oh, timer clock, huge. Probably not necessary for someone with a home gym, especially considering the space isn't that large. But hey, if you want to play on your phone, maybe in between sets, you don't need to want to go back to your timer That's another bonus. And secondhand market, got it for free. A few smaller things. I got some change plates down there as well. Again, that's a bit more of a luxury, but if you go through the right markets like Craigslist, Kijiji, and things like that, you can get things like that for pretty good prices. Some people just don't realize what they have, and that was a good thing to have. Okay, so apart from sort of the centerpiece, right? So the squat rack, where a lot of the work gets done. If you're looking at apartment working out, apartment gyms, you're gonna need some more small items. You're gonna need some items that have a lot of versatility that you can do a lot with, whether you're a powerlifter, CrossFitter, or just general fitness enthusiast. You're gonna need some smaller pieces. So a lot of things that I selected for myself, things like ab mats, right? I can do some sit-ups on them. I can use them for lunges maybe if I'm protecting my knees. Obviously handstand push-ups is something great. And a cheat, right? Like 20 bucks. I got this one just recently because it was a good price. It was 20 bucks. I was like, I'll pick it up really quick, no big deal. I bought this one years ago. This was one of the first fitness things I ever purchased. And it was, again, like 20 bucks. It's not fading at all really. The cushioning is still strong. Like I can do whatever I need to do with it, and it's been good for me. Great, easy tool to use. It stores basically anywhere you need to. It's super duper light, so that's not going to be an issue for anyone who's got an apartment gym. A few other small things I've got like our yoga mats and things like that, which I can take anywhere, store pretty much anywhere. Simple, easy tool. Okay. Getting into some of like the more fun stuff, the heavier stuff, we've got some kettlebells. So for me, because I wasn't sure how long this gym thing was going to be, how long gyms are going to be closed, I just wanted something that I knew I could get a lot done with, like kettlebell cleans or presses or static holds, swings. 80-pound kettlebell. I got this one from a local supplier, and it ended up being a little less than $2 a pound. So there's good value, and there's a lot I can get done with this. And I can do most of whatever I would need to do, Turkish get-ups, whatever, in this small space. I got this rubber mat from the same supplier just to protect my floors and to be, courteous to my neighbors as much as I possibly could in the space I have. And it's been, I can get most of my work done right here if I'm not inside the squat rack. 50-pound dumbbells. I got two. One of them I got straight from a supplier. The other one I got locally, and the one I got locally ended up being just a little bit cheaper, which was nice. But again, something I can do in my apartment, given the headspace I have, given the room I have, man makers, devil's press, dumbbell snatch, clean and jerk, whatever. Easy to do with those two items, and they don't take up a heck of a lot of space at all. And you'll have them forever. Dumbbells last. They're strong, so I'm going to toss them around. Some mobility tools. Chalk, necessary for all strength training. I have a 30-pound wall ball. I don't use that a ton in here. It was just a nice item that I knew I could get access to. I didn't pay a lot for it. There was like a small tear in it that I fixed with some heavy-duty tape. It was cheap. It was easy to store here. I can take it with me on the road if I want to do a workout outside. Easy peasy. What's nice below that is I have a 100-pound sandbag. Okay, 100-pound Rogue sandbag. It cost me $100, 115 bucks I think to get this sandbag, and then what? 20 bucks shipping and handling. $4 a bag of sand. I think it cost me 3 bags of sand. So all in all, it cost me about $140 ish to have this. Again, great utility. Fits in my apartment, right? Like I can keep it in this corner and it's no big deal. I can take it out to the balcony and lift with it there. I can bring it down to the vehicle if I'm going to be going somewhere to work out. Easy to move around. Easy to do a lot with squats, cleans, lunges. Lots of stuff you can do with this guy. Even just static holds with this thing suck. So if you need something you can get a lot done with, get a lot of volume with, a lot of time under tension, great tool. Fits in an apartment, hard to complain for. Okay. So apart from your squat rack, which again, it's going to be kind of the centerpiece, and it's also going to be one of the harder components to fit into a home gym. But it is fairly important for most of us who like to train quite often, especially for strength training. The next hardest piece would be your cardio piece. I opted to go for a rower over something like an assault bike or a ski erg because of this function. Being able to store upright like this is big for being able to use the living space when it's not time to be training. It's also just a great cardio machine, whether you want to do recovery for like something long distance, maybe a 10K or a 5K, or whether you're looking to do high intensity intervals. Still a great piece of machinery, easy to maintain. Customer service with Concept 2 obviously is amazing. Everyone knows Concept 2 is a great product. This product's going to last a long time as long as I take care of it and grease it appropriately. Parallettes, again, small, easy to store. I can put these anywhere, get them out of the way, out of sight real fast, but I can still do a lot on them. Deficit handstand push-ups. I can change my angle of my push-ups. I can do hollow work. I can do any type of handstand work. These are great. They've been a great tool for me. Cheap, they're light. I got them from a gym who's doing the closure right now for a good price. I mean, they've got like a foot missing, but that's not affecting how useful they are for me. Still a really good tool, easy to store, great to use, especially if you're someone who's into the CrossFit. This is kind of just like a box of miscellaneous stuff that I've collected over time. So I've got like my Inzer squat wraps, a couple different ropes and some parts to go with them, yoga block, another rope, Compex, so massage therapy. I've actually got a hypervolt massage gun in here as well. This is pretty great, especially for a recovery day. If you have someone who can use it on you, fantastic. The price has really gone down quite extensively on these recently. I know there's a few like mock ones, but the hypervolt still seems to be one of the quietest ones. Obviously, it's gonna be more pricey than these mock ones that are coming out of China, but it's worked great for me. I've had it for like 2 years now, no issues with it. Battery life is amazing, and it's quiet. I can watch TV and have this thing going. Pretty good feature. Yeah, just sort of odds and ends of fitness supplies in here for the most part. But again, this kind of stuff, skipping ropes, massage tools, lacrosse balls, yoga blocks, they can fit in anyone's space. No one's space is too small to be able to fit these items in. They all just go back in the box, out of sight, out of mind, easy. Okay, this is probably not necessary for most most apartment gyms. This is a plyo box. I'm sure everyone's seen one of these before. But its versatility is boundless, right? You can do step-ups on it, weighted step-ups. You can do box jumps, burpee box jump overs. You can use it as a box squat. There's quite a bit you can do with it, and when we're not using it for training, we kind of just use it as an additional side table here, which is, you know, I actually kind of like the look of it, to be honest. Getting it moving and getting it out isn't too terrible. Up, out onto the balcony. Boom. Done. Easy peasy. Great for being out here working out on the balcony. And then we got the rower. Rower, like I said, is a good tool for an apartment gym because it can store upright, and then you just fold it down when it's time to use it. It works really well because it folds. Oh, it's supposed to go right beside the couch, but I guess we moved the couch around too much. Anyway, typically it just folds down into this spot. That wheel goes along the side there. See if I can get it fixed. There we go. Boom. Good. Now you got space for rowing. Okay, sorry about that. The camera died. I'll make sure my cameraman gets later. But this is the rower. Once it's down and in place, this is whatever. You can do whatever you need to do here. This is a great piece of cardio machine. Fits in my apartment. Like I said, you saw it originally. Stores upright. If I wanted to, I could actually snap it in half and store it smaller so it doesn't take as much room upright. But I'm not using that space. I'm not 9 feet tall, so I don't need that space. So if my rower goes there, excellent. But once it's down, good to go right here. No shoes, rowing. Good to go. Works like a charm. You can get out of it go back to the balcony and do some fitness out there. Speaking of the balcony, so balcony, not every apartment is going to come with a good balcony. But if you do have a balcony, then you're super duper lucky. Especially in our case. If you've got a balcony, as long as ours, my balcony, I measured it, is about 22 feet end to end. It's solid concrete. It's a great space for me to get a bit of lifting done. It's a great space for me to do a bit of a Metcon. I often bring the box out here, do some burpees, do some box jump overs, whatever. I've done farmer's carries here. I do a lot of my Olympic lifting right here. I got another mat. Again, this one, I think this one was, I got it for about 60 bucks. Regular stall mat. Lift right on the spot, no issues. I don't drop much weight here, and that's an issue that a lot of people are gonna run into with an apartment gym. But this has solved most of those issues. I can put it down, I can train the movement, I can train for PRs maybe in terms of number of reps, but I'm not setting a lot of like 1 rep max PRs out here. And that's just one of the limitations we deal with in the short term. But yeah, anyway, this is the final stop on Brandon Cron's home gym. This has been Brandon Cron with Apartment Gym Reviews, and thanks for watching.